Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Fans Dugout. As it's a weekend, more matches and more fans to interact with. So definitely, it's really glad to have all of you back here, and we have some new faces here. So glad to see all the fans joining in from all over the world. So it's a pleasure in me doing this with you guys every week throughout the IPL. So two very interesting matches coming up today. It's CSK versus RCB in the first one, and then RR versus Mumbai in the next one. So very interesting matches. Still a lot to hope for the teams that are at the bottom half of the table, and it's been quite interesting the past few matches as well. CSK losing definitely does give hope to a few other teams, and it's interesting how RCB and CSK will perform in today's match because CSK can cause a huge upset for RCB as well, and RCB have been looking good so far, but a win for CSK today will definitely boost their morale and definitely salvage them some pride, and so that they can at least not finish at the bottom of the table. We've never seen CSK do that, so it'll be surprising if that is what we get to witness this year. The year speaks for itself. It's a kind of year that none of us have expected. So definitely none of us saw this coming that CSK would be at the bottom of the table. But then that's not the end of the story. So let's start with the CSK fans in the house. Let's start with Ashish. Ashish, what are your thoughts on how CSK will play today, and what will they be playing for today?
It's a complete off season for CSK this time.
Yeah,
In 10 years, one off season may not be so criticized that teams have 3 to 4 continuous seasons they have been off. But yeah, CSK has one season in 10 and the CSK is in limelight. I don't think why people are criticizing more Dhoni and CSK because one season can be off and it is in the UAE, not in India. So different bowling conditions, different temperature. So I don't think this is the point of criticism anymore, but yeah, complete off for batsmen. Bowler performed well, but yeah, batsmen completely disappointed this time. Young in the last match, Rituraj Jagdishan got out for zero. It was completely heartbreaking. As Dhoni mentioned that he doesn't see any spark in the youngsters, and we also see that there was no runs up from the top order of the CSK last match. But yeah, this is a complete off season, so I know what to say about that. But yeah, we will be playing for pride in the last 3 matches of ourselves, so we can make upsets for the team like Punjab and Hyderabad or RCB.
yeah,
So we will be playing for the pride for this season IPL and hope we'll not finish at the bottom of the table.
yeah. Just to answer your thoughts about why CSK is being criticized so much, I guess it's the popularity and it's the way they've been all these
Fan
seasons.
following,
Like, it's
fan
the
following
fan
of
following,
CSK.
and
Yeah,
it's the image that they have of themselves of being one of a really good team. And I think it's common in every sport. Like every great player, even like players like Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, one bad game and they get criticized for not performing at the top level. We just used to them performing at such good levels that we just don't expect them to perform so bad. So that's the reason probably why they get criticized. And I think it's just constructive, and they'll definitely act on it. And I think it'll act in the morale of the team as well, and they'll definitely come back stronger the next year. So this is not something that they will be worried about, and I'm pretty sure they are the team they are because of what they've done in the past few seasons, and we all know how good they are. So one bad season won't define how bad their whole legacy has been. So I'm pretty sure this it wouldn't be much of a problem for CSK. But moving to you, Samay, what are your thoughts on how CSK are going to play today, and what they'll be playing for?
Uh, I won't want to comment anything on the season and the things going on.
Yeah,
The first thing is like when you lose your core players in the start and your better number three or position number three, batsman number three, I do in off, you get coronavirus cases. Apart from all those things, they have come back very strongly. If this would have been any other franchise, they would have been collapsed. Also, not to forget, if in place of CSK this would have been India, the whole world would have been like kept on fire, and people would have blasted that why isn't playing 11, why is he not in playing 11. CSK, this has been happened for the CSK for the first time, and not to forget, this is a franchisee cricket.
yeah,
This is a private cricket. Like people have invested their money, they want returns, they want pride, whatever you can say that. If you look at all other teams, like for example, Punjab, they have even removed Virendra Sehwag. if you look at their position, because it's a franchisee cricket. They want the outcome. They have not stayed for them for a single time for a second time. If you look at KKR, even after winning the 2014 IPL title, KKR removed Gautam Gambhir from the captaincy or from the team or whatsoever. Same as with other teams. They have kept changing their captains, kept changing their teams, kept having new players, getting new sort of team. CSK is a team which stick with their players, with back their players. And I think what Stephen Fleming has kept saying that they might have run out of juice or whatsoever. It might be because of the heat of the UAE as well and the playing conditions. The IPL is designed and the team which they formed is for India. The auction was done before, and then it was decided that it will be played in UAE. Even after that, I think not only CSK, all of the teams have coped better and came. What I want to mention is like all the world when MS Dhoni got run out in his all expected last World Cup, everyone was dying to see him on the ground. Don't forget that. I just want that everyone should witness MS Dhoni. Still, he's on the ground. That's it. After this, no matter you win 3 matches, you lose, doesn't matter what CSK is, what MS Dhoni is. It basically doesn't matter. Even if they would have won the IPL title, it would have been another feather in MS Dhoni's IPL titles. Nothing more than that. It would have not been like removed his popularity, decrease his popularity, increase the popularity. The thing is, as far as MS Dhoni is on the ground, just see that because once he is not in the ground, I am damn sure every cricket fan will miss that. And as Ashish Nehra has said multiple times, you will regret that why MS Dhoni is not playing or why we are not having such a player who was captain, who was guider for the bowlers, who was excellent in DRAs, who were good, who used to change the matches from lightning stumpings when no one used to come up. Like if fast bowlers are leaking runs, if spinners are not able to take wickets, then MS Dhoni used to come in action and take wickets by stumping. You all like the world will miss that, no, either for India or for CSK. It is also not sure that how many further years he will continue for CSK. So I still believe that what Stephen Fleming has said in last and what MS Dhoni has said in presentation was correct regarding the youngster. But we cannot judge any youngster from a single match or from 2 matches. They also should be given chances as the chances are given to always to Shane Watson, Fab du Plessis, Ambati Radu, Kedar Jadhav, Shardul Thakur, whatsoever. They also need chances. I believe that, as I said in the last presentation about as well about playing 11, I think today as well there might be a change. Josh Hazelwood can replace Mitchell Santner and Shardul Thakur can replace KM Asif, thinking that they want to build the team for further seasons or they want to make sure that youngsters play more. Also, this is the first ever game in this IPL for CSK to be played in afternoon. They have all played all the matches in evening time and in night time. And RCB has won all the matches played in afternoon. So it will be good to see. And also, I think that RCB is going green today, go green. They're supporting that. So, and also there should not be any changes because if they like again change Siraj to Shivam Dubey, picking all-rounder, I think it will make demoral for Mohammad Siraj. And then they will try to fix something which is not broken, as I said earlier as well. And when they change the betting order of every dealer, they don't want to change that. So I don't like for me now it doesn't matter like CSK finish on 8, 7, 6, 5 or whatsoever position. I want to see MS Dhoni with the same.
Yeah, I just think with the CSK, they've just aged. The team's aged. They've not really looked at their strategy, so they've relied so heavily on a core bunch of players. They got caught out, and again, you look at their fielding. The fielding is so bad. It's unbelievable, and I know it's second to our fielding sometimes. It's probably the worst. But in every ground factor, he's not the player he is because he's not playing cricket, and that's the problem CSK have got. They've not invested in their youth development, and I think that's where they're getting found out.
Before we move on to the second match, let me just quickly wind up with the first one. Ashish, what are your thoughts on how CSK would line up today? Do you think they'll give the younger players another chance, or do you think they'll still stick to the same lineup that they played out last time?
Yeah, as MSD mentioned in the last post-match presentation, he mentioned that he'll be grooming young players in the last 3 matches, and he'll be seeing the spark in the last 3 matches of youngsters. So we can see changes bringing back youngsters in the playing 11. So, but yeah, as Samay mentioned that we will be not seeing MS Dhoni in blues for anywhere anytime. So yeah, we have to enjoy every moment of it. And I also remember that after 2016, Virat Kohli has a brilliant season of 2016. But after 2016, keeping out 5 to 6 matches or some matches aside, I don't think Virat Kohli has also performed very well in the last 3 matches. Keeping some matches aside, is he does not he criticize more? But yeah, as his name, he's the current Indian captain. So everyone will criticize Dhoni of age factor. Yeah, Dhoni has got age 39 years. Yeah, but you can't even imagine that bringing back 2016 T20 World Cup against Bangladesh. We have won just because of Dhoni. If Dhoni wasn't behind the stumps, we won't able to beat Bangladesh in T20 World Cup. We have to enjoy every bit of the moment now, and we will be playing for our pride, as I earlier mentioned. But yeah, we can spoil the parties of other teams also. But I think CSK as well as RR have been shut it down for this season. But yeah, from the RR, I don't think that RR and CSK both will be finished bottom of the table. And yeah, RR Ben Stokes is the really bit of concern as he has not scored even a six and he's playing 100 balls. What are you doing? You are the key player for RR. You are a key foreign player. Steve Smith, Josh Butler, and Ben Stokes. They are the three key players in batting. But Ben Stokes not even hit a single six and played more than 100 balls. So this is the issue of concern. And coming back to CSK, we'll be seeing Mahi Magic today. Hopeful. So yeah, we will witness great match today and hoping for a win for CSK this time.
Yep.
I would just
See the big
like to add
difference.
one point.
The big difference
Eh,
between us and CSK have been we've got our strategies wrong. Our decision making's been the best. It's not the top front 11 or our squad. It's the actual decision making. That's where we're different with CSK. The CSK, what Indian bowler have they got? A fast Indian bowler have they got? They have got any. They haven't got any that can come in to replace one of their foreign players. We've got the players, but we just do not play them in the right positions. If Ben Stokes was coming in at 4 or 5, he would score sixes because one, the bowling is less competitive in the middle overs, but it's just decision making for RR, which has been our problem.
just taking point from what Mr. Surinder has just said, that strategies and the decisions.
Yeah.
There comes the role of MS Dhoni again. And if you again look at the team has not performed, but he has taken the decisions correctly. The strategies were on point. The players are aged; they are not putting on field whatsoever. It's the team fault and not as per the fault of decisions or strategy making.
So
This is what
who
he has.
decides the team for
Exactly.
CSK? Fleming or Dhoni, or who does it?
I'm just saying that whoever does it, like there is not any fault in decision
Since
making.
it's the fault of the players, so there's got to be something wrong with the captain's decisions to back them up, right?
That's another thing. I'm just saying that as he mentioned that RR is the team, but the decisions have wrong, strategy is wrong. So captain is more responsible for that, right? Even you are having good players, you are change opening positions again and again.
Yeah, for both the
There,
teams. I think Steve Smith is just as much responsible as MSD is.
that's what I'm saying. So as he mentioned, like RR is above. I just mentioned that this not is not the case. That's what I just wanted to mention.
I believe
Yeah.
in the end,
No, I agree with that.
yeah, I believe in the end, it all depends on how the players perform. Like in the end, no matter what strategies you apply, no matter what tactics you come out with, in the end, if the player is not able to perform, I don't think you'll get any results without it. So
I think that's the
But
difference between the two
comparison
teams.
comparison of
Yeah,
MSD's
the two
captaincy
difference
with
between the
Steve
two.
Smith is completely pointless. I think
Why
MSD is
both of them are
far,
languishing at the bottom of the table this year? Why not compare both of them?
but
And
RR has been consistent in the bottom of the table for a long time. CSK only this time. So what about that?
so
And
I'm
also you
comparing
cannot
this
I
year's
agree with that.
captaincy.
also I think
I
that
I'm
you
think
cannot
comparing this
compare.
year's captaincy. If you really want to go by stats, then before the IPL started this year, Steve Smith had a 65% success rate. That was the most among any captains, even better than
No,
MSD. So what are you
no,
comparing?
it was having that.
He had
So
65%. That is pure stats. That's not something which I'm making up.
so you are saying
I'm just saying that
that
if you're
Steve Smith is
comparing
the better
previous stats,
captain
you should
than
also see
MSD.
other things as well, no?
I guess no matter how many stats we compare, no matter how many how both the teams play and how different the captaincies is, in the end, us debating about it wouldn't change the outcomes on the field. So I don't think that is the right topic that we should be talking about.
Also, I just wanted to mention one point that
Yeah.
you cannot compare, you cannot compare captaincy with on what positions the teams are right now.
Yeah.
The captaincy is compared on how you think, what you plan from like in your whole career, and not to forget what Steve Smith has done in his career, and he was banned for his life in Test match. Don't forget that who was Steve Smith, what he did,
Yeah,
and now he's banned to captain Australian team.
somebody else was alleged for match fixing as well. So that
That was
doesn't make
not
any
proved.
difference.
I'm
It was
I'm just
alleged.
saying
It
that.
was a more serious allegation, dude.
But yeah, but MS
That
Dhoni,
Cricket Australia
but MS
decided to
Dhoni was
ban
not
that Cricket
convicted.
Australia decided to ban him
But MS
was
Dhoni
Cricket
was not
Australia's own
convicted.
decision. ICC didn't decide to ban him, mind you that.
But MS Dhoni was not
It was
convicted
Cricket
on the
Australia's
basis of
decision.
cheating.
It was not the ICC's decision. That Dhoni still carries the stain of match fixing. It is something to be more concerned of.
In the end, I guess it's not just a blame game, and we're all here to enjoy the game of cricket. So let's just keep it to that. But then moving to the second match, it's Mumbai versus RR today, and we have Shraddha here who's going to be supporting Mumbai, I guess, but he's an ardent CSK fan as well. So let's get your thoughts on how Mumbai are going to play today in today's match.
I think they are performing really well, like as they are on the top of the table, maybe second or first. I didn't remember exactly, but I think they are really playing well, and I hope so in this match again they will play well. Yeah, but like the captain is not playing, so I think this time also, Pollard will be the captain for MI.
Yeah.
I think so.
And
Yeah.
finally, coming on to you, Rajasthan Royals fans, how do you think Rajasthan will perform today? Let's start with Ayush. Ayush, what are your thoughts on how your team's going to perform today and how the match is going to be?
So there are two things when we talk about RR this season. First is on paper.
Yeah.
On paper, I believe we have a team that has players which will feature in any World T20 11. We have four of the best T20 internationals. We have Sanju Samson, who has immense talent. He hasn't executed that. So that has been our story all along this season, that we have had strength on paper. I think on paper we can beat Mumbai today. I think on paper we can win our next three matches, but it's just about executing the plans correctly. As Surendra sir mentioned earlier, we just haven't executed our plans. Our plans have been all haphazard. Stokes not playing in his familiar position. Because of that, we are actually devoiding the world's best T20 opener in Joss Butler. He's coming in the middle overs. That's not his role. He's not someone who's going to come in the 12th over and just, keep playing it along. And in the last, he's going to finish it for us. That's the job of Stokes. Rahul Tewatia has been a very welcome addition in the family of RR. But, I think he has exceeded the expectations that were from him. He has already won us two matches. One of that was almost single-handedly against SRH, and I think his quota is done for the season. Anything after this is a bonus. We need to have better bowlers because it's been a very familiar story that Archer is going to start off like blazing fire, and the very next over we're going to see like a 12-run over and all the pressure is released. So we really need to have one more pacer who can support Archer from the other end. If we can figure that out, I don't know. I have a hunch that they're going to go with Unatkar again this time. He's going to be coming in for Rajput. But if that happens, I hope he performs well. He must be doing something good. That's why he's getting paid so much in the Ranjis at least. But well, I hope he can support Archer. I think if we can just have one bowler a pacer who can support Archer from the other end, then we have a golden chance. Otherwise, I think all the pressure would be released and we're just looking at another loss in our face.
Yeah, I think everyone has the talent, and we can see this example of Mohammad Siraj as well. Like he bowled a 15th over, which eventually cost RCB a game in a previous match. But then the next match he was not played and he was rested. But then coming back in the team again and against KKR, and then doing what he did that day. That just proves how the players take it, and how constructive they can be, and the positive thoughts that they bring with them, and how the mentality is. So I think if Unatkar is given a chance again, I think he can prove his worth, and it's all on how the players take it, and it's just that they need to believe in themselves and just step up their game. That's it. So I think he can still be an.
I disagree, Nitin. I disagree with that. Because if you look at Mohamed Siraj, right, the guy with the new ball is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And the fact is he was not managed properly because what they did is you play that bowler in the power in at the death. You
Yeah.
try to bowl him out with a new ball because he can swing the ball both ways. He has a lot of pace. Unadkat doesn't have any of that. You know, Unadkat is a club cricketer. In England, he would not be in any of the T20 teams. I'm sorry to say, he would not make any T20 team in England. We've got Akash Singh waiting the left arm quick bowler. Why not give him a chance? And that's what I say. The decision making has been really poor from RR. And on paper, we have a very strong team. And I was expecting us to be in the top four with Punjab and Delhi and Mumbai. Those were my four picks. And on paper, those teams are the strongest, but we really messed up on the strategy. And the captaincy debate, I'd take MS Dhoni over Steve Smith. If MS Dhoni was leading our team, I definitely think we would be in the top four, 100%.
And finally, moving to you, Pian, what are your thoughts on how the team is going to play today? And reflection on
Well,
that?
the opening order, I just hope that we start giving chances to youngsters now. Like MS is trying to do with his team, I think it's high time for us to find the sparks in our youngsters as well. I think Akash Singh definitely deserves a debut. I think Yashasvi Jaiswal should be given a run for the next 3 matches, no matter how he plays, because now it's inconsequential for us. Just get rid of Robin Uthappan now. He's probably not going to feature in our next year plans. We don't really, we are not a team which likes to carry players over 35 in our squad. I mean, it clearly doesn't work for us. Probably bring back Ben Stokes. I think Ben Stokes is supposed to play down the order this match because Shane Warne actually mentioned it that he'd rather prefer seeing Butler up at the top instead of Ben Stokes, and it's quite natural that you want to have an opener of his caliber right at the top. Personally, I think I would replace Sanju Samson with Manan Vora. Just he's never got 2 consecutive matches for us in all the 3 seasons that he's been with us. So I think it's high time we start looking at whether he's suitable for our next season. Maybe anyway, don't we really have too many young batsmen to pick up from as far as the next mini auction comes. Also, I think if it's possible, if you want to strengthen our bowling or our batting, I think I'd probably choose Andrew Tye or David Miller over Ben Stokes because he's not performing in either department right now. I think it's that he's not hit 1-6 in over 100 balls that he's faced, and I don't know why the management went for that decision, but clearly it's time that we look for a better option.
Yeah. And moving to you, Shraddha, we've all seen how consistent Mumbai's bowling lineup has been, and they've been amazing so far. So, do you think their bowling lineup would be a main strength for today's match? Do you think their bowling lineup is what Rajasthan Royals should be afraid of, or do you think they have other talents in their team as well, which can probably take the game away from Rajasthan today?
I think bowling lineup will play a good role because like the starting 6 over are main important, and in those over if MI took 3 or maybe 2 wickets, it would be. So yeah, Rajasthan should be aware of it, and as Rajasthan have Smith, and if I don't know Samsung is playing, he will play, I think so. So yeah, he and Smith are they both are good player. Yeah, I hope it will be a great match. We will see a great match today, like as RCB, CSK, MI.
We could be 5 down. We could be 5 down by the end of the power play, because with Bolt, Bumrah, you know, this is serious bowling. So you know, if we don't get our opening pair right, you know, we could potentially be 5 down by the 8th
Even if we
over.
get right, I don't think it would make any difference.
Sorry, Pian?
Even if we get our opening pair right, I don't really think it would make a big difference with Bumrah and Bolt in the kind of form that they are. I just hope that they decide to rest both of them and probably bring in Anukul Roy or Dhawal Kulkarni in place of Bumrah. You know, just be kind to our neighbors.
I think like one of them will take a rest for 1 or 2 matches now because like, as season is on that pace, like they want everyone should be on the right path. So I think they will give rest to one of the main bowler. I think
I
it
think
would
it would
be.
be, yeah.
Yeah, Dawal Kulkarni. We would like
Yeah.
Dawal Kulkarni.
It would be wise for Mumbai to do that.
Dawal Kulkarni be appreciated.
Yeah, it would be wise for
Fair
Mumbai.
contest, Kulkarni versus Unatkar.
Yeah. But then, yeah, I think Rajasthan has an equally amazing bowler in Jofra Archer as well. Like he's been outstanding so far this season, and I think he's carried the team so far pretty well. He's been amazing to watch, and he's just a kind of a superstar that Rajasthan would need a support for. I mean, he's been the sole performer in the bowling department so far. Like they do have other bowlers as well, but none of them have matched the quality of Jofra Archer for Rajasthan. So, Ayush, moving to you, who do you think might be?
But the interesting thing, Nitin,
Yeah.
The interesting team is our 3 games
Yeah.
are against Kings 11 Punjab, Mumbai today, and KKR, which is the last game. So obviously we have a big say in who actually qualifies fourth. If we win our 3 matches, you know, the IPL is such that we could actually we could still qualify. I'm not hopeful or thinking because I don't think we deserve it with our performances, but we still have that, you know, dying ember that we could reach the top 4.
Yeah.
If Delhi would have been won yesterday, so yeah, it will be an outside chance for CSK and RR both.
Yeah.
But as KKR have won the match yesterday, so keeping in run rate in mind or points in mind, I don't think CSK and RR will match the points or run rate in comparison to KKR. So yeah, CSK and RR can finish. Any team can finish 5 or 6. But yeah, at 4, I think KKR have booked his spot right now. But Punjab has been tremendous form after Universe Boss is back. So we can see Punjab and KKR battling for number 4 spot in the playoff.
Yep, it'll
Just
definitely
to
be.
add
And that's
in
a Monday
Ashish's
game.
point,
Yeah, go
just
ahead.
to add in Ashish's point,
Yeah.
in 7 matches they have only won 1 match and 6 loss. Punjab.
Yeah.
Then they have won like 4 matches altogether and beating like top teams.
Yeah.
And I think last match was like something like from where they won the match from the hands of SRH.
Yeah.
We were discussing about the points table that who will be on 7 and 8, RR and CSK. I think SRH is fighting hard to be on 8th position. I don't know why, but yeah. They just want to be
I
there.
wish
I
they
don't know
fought
why.
harder against us.
I
And
mean,
KL Rahul also mentioned yesterday that they have making a winning habit in the
Yeah.
second phase of IPL after the return of Universe Boss. So I think Punjab and KKR will be the tough will face tough fight between them for number 4 spot.
I think looking at KXIP like tenure for the past 13 years, even if they don't finish in top 4 or win the IPL, I think they have like got something which is like more cherishable, like winning all 4 matches continuously after losing 6 matches
Yeah.
and then beating top teams MI, RCB, DC with such a margin.
yeah. I think that's what we've always been talking about since the start of the season. Even Mr. Surinder mentioned it a numerous number of times. He always mentioned that Kings 11 have an amazing team and that they should definitely be one of the teams that go to the playoff because on paper they have that team, but then it's just that few unlucky games here and there, and it's just a matter of luck. But then given the kind of form they're in right now, I guess they finally got their groove on, and it's about time they show up and step up what their game is. So I think it'll be really interesting to watch who gets into the playoffs. And this fight between KKR and Kings 11 would definitely be something that's very interesting to watch. And it's definitely.
But going back to Kings 11, Nitin, just
Yeah.
going back to Kings 11.
Yeah.
What I really like about Kings 11 is their belief in their Indian players and the Indian coaching system and the Indian captain. Like KR Rahul's captaincy has
The presence
improved
of Anil Kumble has helped them a lot.
dramatically from the. And Anil Kumble, yeah, exactly. And I think where RR can learn from this, it will be to get this iconic player in the backroom team where the Indian players can look up to, because I think we really lack that iconic Indian player, not just on the pitch, but also in the back room. And I think Kings 11 are giving us the template of where we can do. And I think even if we go back to CSK, the problem with CSK is every year they haven't invested in their players. And that's why they all age together. It's like a football team here. You have a golden period. If you do not invest in your young players and get them playing in every year, you should at least get 2 new good young Indian players to be in the team, then in 5 years you could have a whole team of 11 Indian players to choose from that all have experience. And I think that's where we've gone wrong this year, because we've got Akash Singh in our bench, we've not used him. Manan Vora, we've not used him. So it's been a problem when, even if we look at the IPL next year,
Yeah.
we could even have 5 or 6 Indian players that are ready to play.
Just as Upan mentioned about Anil Kumble, he was like, I don't know why he was removed from the coaching of Indian cricket team because of one captain. We all know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, even after Ravi Shastri's management of sending Dhoni at number 6 and 7 in World Cup was like that, he got the opportunity of having the head coach of Indian cricket team. So if you look at the betterment of Indian cricket, I think Anil Kumble's decision was good, but due to ego thing, or I don't know what was the issues, he was removed from that. But I think Anil Kumble, Rahul Dravid are such players who are like much better coach than Ravi Shastri.
Yeah. And hopefully that's what I'm saying. That's where you look at Anil Kumble. Anil Kumble has a strategy, has a plan, and he does not let the captain run the team. Whereas now Indian team is run by Virat Kohli and Ravi Shastri. So again, from our we need to look at our management. We need to look at our coaching structure, and we need to look at the captain. And if we could get an iconic Indian captain as our captain, I think that will really do well with our younger Indian players.
So I guess we'll conclude with that. We just have a minute left. So I guess we had some really good conversations here, some heated up rivalries, but then it's really glad that we get to do this, and it's just a part and parcel of the game, and it's just how we show our passion towards the game, and it's good that we have this competition between us as well. So it's great to witness what cricket brings out of us, and in the end, it's all just the love for the game, and it's all friendly. So I would really like to thank you all so much for joining in here today and sharing these thoughts with me. It was great talking to you all, and I'll definitely see you guys in the next one. So until then, have a great weekend. Enjoy today's match as well, and may the best team win. So,
Roll macha.
thank you so much for joining, guys.
Hello, ball.
Allah bol.
Whistle podo.
See you guys.
Thank you, guys. See you next time.
Bye bye. Bye bye.